Welcome to another episode of the Fair Weather Podcast. This is your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with A-Rod.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with episode 2, looking to give you some more insights on some sports talk. Follow the Twitter page at Fair Weather Pod. Follow the IG page at the Fair Weather Podcast. We also have a YouTube page, and then wherever you subscribe to podcasts, you can find us on there. Also the Facebook page too.
We made it to another week. They didn't kick us off. We didn't get canceled. I think we did okay.
Got really good feedback too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we appreciate everybody who listened to the first episode. We're going to keep the momentum going. We'll keep the ball rolling. We're going to keep having fun because that's what we're here for, is to have some fun. But let's get into it. What do you want to talk about today, A-Rod?
Since we left off with NFL, let's jump right into the NFL.
What happened with your Jets this weekend?
Hey man, I'm in the same boat as everybody else that should be a Jets fan. Why do they keep winning? But it is what it is. But the real question is, what happened to your Eagles, man? Like, everybody was in the hunt.
What happened? You're not in the hunt. What do you mean? What happened to the Eagles?
They're not in the hunt.
We did exactly what we were supposed to do.
You can stick to the script. We can't stick to the script.
We know how to lose to get a top 6 pick. Right now, according to Tankathon, this is something that I follow so I can know where we're going to pick at. Right now, we're picking 6th in the draft if everything holds as it's going. So right now, it goes Jacksonville, you guys, Miami via Houston, which is crazy because if they make the playoffs and get a top 3 pick, that's amazing. Atlanta, Cincinnati, and then us. So I'm happy where I'm at.
You should be. You'll get what you want at that place. Me, I want to. 2 is appealing, but I mean, for what the Jets really need, and in my opinion, I think it's offensive toys for Sam Darnold. I know you want a receiver, and I know you want the Bama one or the one from LSU.
Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle.
You can have Waddle.
Either one of those two
boys. But regardless, Jets should trade down, try and get some picks out of it, and then with the 20, I think it's the 23rd pick they have. If you want to look at that real quick, I know they have one towards the bottom that we have. From Seattle.
Right now it's 27.
27, yeah. If they can somehow get Najee Harris there or some kind of running back, that would be ideal for me as a fan.
So explain this to me. Why aren't you sold on Justin Fields?
I'm just not. Like, look at all the great Ohio State quarterbacks that come into the league and are that good, and yeah, they're just not. Like, look at Haskins, for example.
We got to get into Haskins, by the way, today.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Because I got to get into Haskins. Okay, who else? They had Terrell Pryor.
He
was a receiver.
They told him, they said, you ain't going to cut it. But even he did well as a Swiss Army knife. And, then his career fell off when he left Cleveland. So
JT Barrett,
nowhere to be found.
Smith, what's his first
name?
Troy Smith,
nowhere to be found.
That's crazy, you're right.
They just come date the DOA to the NFL. Like, you can't find them. They breed running backs, they breed sometimes receivers, and they breed defensive players. So those are the guys I'm taking from that school. But I'm not sold on Justin Fields. They just wax everybody over there all the time, and it's good, but those guys just don't translate or transition well to the NFL, in my opinion.
Everything I've been reading, though, is that you guys are kind of over Sam Darnold now. You're expected to trade him.
So I read today that a lot of executives are looking that they're predicting the Jets will keep him for another year, which I think they should. And I think he's not the issue. It's definitely, you're not bringing the guy any tools. You're not giving him anything to play with. And if you want to say Le'Veon Bell, you can't give Le'Veon Bell 10 touches a game. It's not going to win you games.
So what's up? I mean, how do you feel about your offensive line? Because they got that kid from Oregon.
I like him.
Sewell.
I like Sewell. I like he would be a nice fit. I like Becton. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's very agile, but they're making the right moves this year with the O-line, but they weren't the right, the best players you can get out there. But
yeah,
you also don't want to break the bank on some of these guys unless it's a sure shot type of offensive lineman that you're going to be signing.
Mm.
But let's stop bashing my team a little bit.
It's not bashing. I mean, I'm actually interested in you guys being better because I feel like I did like Sam Darnold coming out of college, even though I've never been too crazy about USC quarterbacks. Just
I'm
like you're
not
not
either.
crazy about Ohio State quarterbacks.
I'm not big on him either, but they can win in the right systems. I mean, look at Carson Palmer. He's probably the best one to come out of there in a while. Matt Leinart just got to a really bad
He
program.
did. Matt, what's his name? Mark Sanchez.
Mark
had
Sanchez,
a decent start for
2
you
years,
guys.
but they took everything away, and
Yeah.
that's my argument to Mark Sanchez. After that, it was just pure embarrassment. You know, I got nothing to say about that. But 2 years to the AFC Championship, that's almost to the promised land. But you know, Sam Darnold, he's got the tools. He doesn't look bad. You can't give him a depleted Demaryius Thomas. You can't give him Bernard Perriman. The best thing they did was draft this guy.
Perriman's not bad.
Perriman's
he's fast,
but he's no 1 or 2.
He's
option.
a first round pick.
He is, but he was definitely a busted first round pick, and he finally got his calling when he went to the Bucs, and it was his time to step it up, and he did his job because he knew this was probably his last go around. So he got his check. He's with the Jets, and he's at best a 2 in my opinion.
Jamison Crowder.
Crowder is the best thing I think they've gotten for him because in my opinion, I think him and Cooper Kupp are the two best slot receivers in NFL. Like those guys, they're money. They're money guys.
Ooh, I got to think about that one.
Edelman too is there.
Edelman's old now. Like I don't even think he played. He played
still,
5 games this season. I think.
But I mean, regardless, I'm looking at right now. If I need a guy to line up in the slot, it's going to be one of those guys.
I imagine Tom Brady with Perriman.
Yeah,
because Jameis Winston had him last year, and he did pretty well for Tampa Bay. That's why he got paid this summer. So
he didn't do bad. But let's go from the Jets. Let's jump to the Eagles a little bit. So in the playoff hunt now, everybody's alive but the Eagles now. You did it right. Mm-hmm. You know,
thank you.
You did it right. I wish the Jets could
stick to the script
and not beat the COVID Browns, but they chose to do it, and they may even beat the Patriots next week. I'm hoping.
Oh, they're definitely gonna. Well, it doesn't matter at this point. You guys are locked into the second spot.
Is it for sure?
Because Houston has a 4-11, Atlanta's 4-11.
Oh, then
so you guys go 3-13 no matter what.
I don't care. We're supposed to lose, but it's whatever, man. But you never know. Something could happen. They could trade the pick for the 23rd pick, and
I just don't see you guys. I don't see you guys trading down. But anyway,
I don't either. But we'll see what happens.
But so with Philly, so let me give you my, the tale of two halves for me. So first of all, in all of my sports, so I'm a huge fan. Like my favorite team out of all the teams that I support is the Eagles. So more so than the Sixers, more so than University of Michigan football, more so than USF. Like the Eagles are my favorite team. And the team that I hate the most is the Dallas Cowboys, more than any.
I think everybody hates
any
the Cowboys.
Team. And I blame
I blame America's team.
Shut up! I don't want to hear that. They're not America's team. But anyway, I blame Skip Bayless for that because Skip Bayless annoys the hell out of me when he talks about the Cowboys. But anyway, the Cowboys are the team that I hate the most. The last thing I want is for the Cowboys to make the playoffs. So I know I wanted the top. First of all, making the playoffs would have been nice for Jalen Hurts, but what's the point? We're going to make the playoffs and get whacked in the first round anyway. So part of me was happy that we lost. It's just who we lost to why I was kind of depressed for a little bit because it's the Cowboys. Like I don't want to see the Cowboys successful. I'm sorry to all my Cowboy fans out there. As an Eagles fan, the one team that I just don't want to see successful is the Cowboys. So when we lost, it hurt, but I'm happy that we stuck to the script. Essentially, we stuck to the script because I feel like we have our quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Now it's about getting. You want weapons, and I want weapons too.
So,
but Deshaun Jackson's old.
Yeah. What you got? Rager.
Rager is good. So we draft. If we're gonna, Alshon Jeffrey is getting old.
He's not going to be there next year.
He's not going to be there next year.
You got a young running back in Miles Sanders.
Is great. So
you got like 3 good running backs behind him that just plug and play in.
They're not.
Bart Scott did his job.
Bart Scott is the Jets. It's Boston Scott.
Or
can't wait.
My bad, Bart.
Boston
if you ever
Scott.
listen to us,
but Boston Scott is 5'6". Like I need I need a stud on the field.
But see, like
And
that
Jalen Reagor is not a stud.
That mentality is like when Saquon went down, everyone's like, "Oh, now it's Wayne Gallman's got to do the job." Dude, he's been doing great.
Wayne's good.
He's been holding his own. He's not like
Wayne is good.
Huge, but
Wayne is good. But he's a good backup.
That's what you need. Back. So as Miles is the guy, you got your running back locked in. You got a decent backup in Scott.
We brought back Jordan Howard.
You got two good
after Miami let him go.
You got two good tight ends, but one might not be there next year in Ertz.
I don't know about that one.
They've been dangling him around a lot.
It's because
Goddard holds his own.
Goddard does hold his own.
Goddard holds his own,
definitely.
And
honestly, I think Goddard's our best receiver.
I think everybody else on the receiving core, I think Deshaun Jackson, if he wants to come back for a team-friendly discount,
they'll bring him back. They'll bring him back.
But Jeffrey's expendable.
Yeah.
And then all the other guys you got out there, the only guy that looks kind of good if they throw him the ball, in my opinion, is Fulgham.
Yeah, but think about who we're talking about. So Fulgham he's out of nowhere. Greg Ward's a former quarterback in college.
They're the best threes, in my opinion.
Who?
They're best like threes in the wide receiver.
Yeah.
They're not your 1 or 2.
Yeah, exactly. At best.
What do you see Reagor? Do you see him a 1 or 2?
Reagor is
you draft him in the first round.
Reagor is that guy that you put in the slot.
You think?
So here's my gripe with the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 years in a row.
Tell them how you feel.
Oh my God, I'm gonna speak my truth and I'm gonna tell them how I feel. We drafted JJ Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf. Very next year, we drafted Jalen Reagor over who everyone knows is going to be the rookie of the year, Justin Jefferson. So tell me how am I supposed to trust what we're going to do in the draft? Because we're going to get a top 6 pick, and we're going to foolishly draft somebody who's not even on the radar. Like Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, or Jamar Chase should be our primary target at number 6. If we don't draft any of those 3 in because there's no way all 3 of them get drafted before us. So
there was 2 receivers in that draft last year that didn't stick out to me. I mean, I know they had great numbers in college, and I don't know if they were first round tags, but one was Reagor and the other one was Aiyuk. Those 2 guys did not stick out to me.
So
and I think people saw Jefferson and they said, "Oh, he had a great, national championship game where he scored like 3 touchdowns and had 257 yards or whatever the number was," and they're like, "He's not going to replicate that without that." And
that's the stupidest thing.
Jefferson said, "Hold my beer, watch what I can do."
So first of all, everyone knew we needed a receiver.
He's not that big though, is he, Jefferson?
He's a good receiver.
He is a good. I'm not arguing.
Go look at. I'm not comparing him to Jerry Rice.
Everybody wants a big guy. That's the thing.
Exactly.
They want a Megatron.
They want a physical specimen or someone really fast.
Yeah.
Go look at Jerry Rice's measurables. I'm not comparing him to Jerry Rice, but go look. He's just a regular guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'1".
But his route running was amazing. His intelligence was amazing. He never dropped anything. That's what made Jerry Rice Jerry Rice. And I feel like Justin Jefferson is just a really good receiver. Like
he also had 2 really good quarterbacks he played with and made him well too. But his talent made them what they are.
Exactly. Think about. There's a lot of guys that they don't have all the greatest measurables, but somehow they're able to just make it happen. And I feel like Jalen Reagor played at TCU, and played in the Big 12 where the defense is not.
Texas isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, everything is
just Oklahoma football.
Exactly. So I
guess they look at if can you do well against Oklahoma every game is what I'd be looking at.
Honestly, guys, that's what the Big 12 has become because Texas is up and down. Oklahoma State, whatever. Who else is out there? That Baylor, whatever. So it's not like
it's been pretty good.
Yeah, but they're not.
I get what you're saying. People are arguing say Baylor has a great football program, but you haven't heard of Baylor's in like the last 5 years. They've been on the come up, if anything.
Exactly. So to me,
you win a Heisman with one guy. Now you're the best.
RG3.
You're a great program.
That was good for them to get you get a Heisman person come to your program.
Absolutely,
that's beautiful for your program.
Absolutely, but then you have all the other issues that wind around it, and you're just, you gotta weed out the bad and the good and see what the program is good. It's just like
who else have they put?
It's not prestigious. That's what I'm trying to get.
Who else has Baylor put in the NFL in the last couple of years?
We got Denzel Mims from.
Mims. Did he do anything for you guys this year?
Huh?
You wanted toys. That's a toy.
I told you I like him.
That's a toy.
He's got at least.
So you don't need.
Yeah, we do.
You like Jameson. You just told me you like Jameson Crowder.
I do slot.
You like Denzel Mims.
Yeah. But he has a small sample window. Like, he might play like 4 games, 5 games.
Frank Gore has got is.
Let's jump into this. So it's playoff football. Mm-hmm. Eagles are out. So who's gonna win it who's gonna have the losing record for I think like the second time? I think the Seahawks went into the playoffs and they went deep.
They won a game.
Yeah. And they beat the Cowboys, didn't they?
No, they beat the
Panthers.
No, they beat the
Panthers
Saints.
went that year.
They beat the Saints.
That's right, yeah.
That's what I think. That's the one that Marshawn Lynch had the earth-shattering touchdown, and he's home.
Might have been, yeah.
I think that was the year he did.
So who goes in? Is it the Cowboys, the Giants, or the football team?
The football team. What do I want? Or who do I think is gonna happen?
Who do you think?
So all right,
I'm saying this:
the Giants play the Cowboys. And the Giants are a good football team. Mm-hmm. Like, they are a good football team. They just they're a good enough football team to beat the Cowboys.
Okay, and then but the Red Rocket can show up.
Yeah, he can. He's showed
got
up
a lot
against
of toys.
He showed up against. He has plenty of toys. And we play. The Eagles play Washington football team. If we have any sense and any
you let the football team
the football team win. We don't want the Cowboys to be in the playoffs.
True.
Like the I keep wanting to call them the Redskins. I'm sorry, guys. The Washington football team. We don't have a real beef rivalry with them. We have beef with the Cowboys.
Everybody in the division has beef with the Cowboys.
Exactly. So we have any sense, we should just let Washington win. Do it for Ron Rivera.
He beat cancer twice.
Do it for Ron Rivera. If anybody, do it for Ron Rivera.
That's what I said. He beat cancer twice. He beat physical cancer, and they got rid of Haskins.
And he got rid of Haskins.
Wanted to talk about Haskins a little bit.
Can we get into Dwayne Haskins?
What do you think he's like? That's a good move, or do you
to get rid of him?
Yeah,
absolutely. First of all, what school did he go to?
The Ohio State.
Don't ever say the around me. I'm a Michigan guy, so no. He went to the Ohio State University,
like but.
And we were talking about this. There's no quarterbacks from Ohio State that's ever really done anything.
They don't take it to the next level in the NFL.
Exactly.
They just don't. They just wax the competition and then
they get to NFL and kind of just stink up the joint.
Yeah.
So not that I
hate Ohio State quarterback. I'm just speaking valid truths here on this.
I don't like Ohio State, period. But anyway, so first of all, he's an Ohio State quarterback, so it wasn't going to work out anyway. Second of all, he's probably going to get picked up by somebody, and that's good for him, but he needs structure. And Washington was going through a lot of, think about the name change, or they had the stuff with Snyder and all the sexual misconduct that they were going through. And then, it's just so much going on. Then the coach, is going through the chemo and the cancer and everything like that. And this guy wants to go to strip clubs. During, first of all, COVID is COVID, whatever. And I'm not saying he shouldn't go enjoy his life, whatever. But first of all, your coach is battling cancer and is going through chemo. You don't want to get your coach exposed to anything. So first of all, to be the leader of the team, you should have enough sense to not be at a strip club even while your coach is still, his immune system is not as strong right now. Second of all, he went to the strip club after they lost. And
what are you celebrating?
I don't know. He had first of all, third of all, Alex Smith just got hurt. He took over for him in that game, an important game, and then they lost. Then he goes to the strip club. Then he apologizes. And then he comes back and stinks up the joint against Carolina. And Carolina is not great. And this is against Ron Rivera's former team.
Yeah.
That was an important game, not only for the division, but for Ron Rivera. And and you can just see his body language, the way he carried himself. I would have cut him during the game. Yeah. And I'm so happy that, because usually, if somebody you drafted in the first round, you kind of let it ride out or trade him for value or something. And they cut their quarterback.
Yeah, it just sucks because that was his favorite team growing up and all that. He's from the Potomac area, but I think it was a panic pick. It was a panic pick.
It was because the owners wanted him to be there. It was, I don't know. I'm happy that they did it, though.
Yeah, I am too. I didn't want the guy, but you never know. The Jets may sign him.
So. But with that being said, though, that's why I hope Washington is the one that wins the division. and becomes the 7-9 team that makes the playoffs, because it would be just kind of poetic justice that they cut Dwayne Haskins and still end up in the playoffs with a losing record. Ron Rivera going through what he went through.
Ron Rivera.
Alex Smith coming back from God knows that was one of the most gruesome injuries since what's his name from the 80s. Oh my God, what's his name? The one that broke his leg, Theismann. So it's like
Taylor hit.
Exactly. So to me, it would be a nice, feel good thing for them to make the playoffs, and then they'll play probably Tampa Bay in the first round to get destroyed by Tom Brady. But still, that's what I want. Now, as far as the other teams, so I know we want to talk about the AFC picture because there's a lot of teams.
Well, the other one, we have the Rams, the Bears, and the Cards. Real quick,
Keep it in NFC.
Who do you think goes from there?
The Rams are going to be in.
You think the Rams still going to have the chance to get? They said that they have like a best probably them all, but they'll probably make a first round exit out.
The Rams are going to be without Jared Goff.
Yeah, but they still have a leg up because of the record.
They have Blake Bortles though.
He's not starting though.
Who's going to start?
He's backing up the backup.
Who's the backup?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's not a good thing.
I know. But they just signed Bortles off of Denver's practice squad, so because he knows the offense.
So, all right, there's 7 teams that are going to make it. So right now, the Packers are locked.
Yep.
The Saints are locked.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks are locked. And the Bucs are locked.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC East we still got to figure out. And the Bears are rising up. Now, who do the Bears play next? Bears, let's see. Oh,
I think it's an easy
game. No, they play Green Bay.
Yeah, but they're going to rest. They'll rest.
Did they might have something to play for.
I don't think so. I think
the Packers are at the top of the division right now. They've only clinched the division, but they didn't clinch first place.
Mm.
And they want that bye.
Well,
they want that bye.
Who do you think goes in of those 3?
I got
two that go win. So
I think the Rams stay in.
I do too.
I think the Rams stay in. And now it's between the Bears and the Cardinals. And
I think the Cards get in.
The Kyler Murray's a little banged up.
He is, but he's got a lot of tools there to help him.
But he's a little banged up. I mean, is he going to play?
Hopkins has a taste of the playoffs, so I think.
So it's Cardinals at Rams.
Oh, make it.
So basically,
fun.
The winner of that game is probably going to be the one that gets in.
Yeah.
If the Bears, because I don't think the Bears are going to beat the Packers. I just don't see that happening. So
I
think the Bears lose to the Packers because the Packers have something to play for. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP this year, by the way. For everybody who's been trashing Aaron Rodgers over the last couple of years, he's back. Okay, 44 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, number 1 in passer rating, like top 5 in completion percentage. Anyway, so it's Cardinals, a banged up Kyler Murray versus the backup quarterback for the Rams, and Cooper Kupp's on the COVID list. So if I had to choose, it's probably going to be the Cardinals.
You think?
I mean, who's the backup quarterback for the Rams? You can't even name them.
Yeah, but insert running offense and
who? Henderson?
Henderson's not playing.
Cam Akers?
Cam Akers has been coming on.
Malcolm Brown?
Malcolm Brown turns heads.
I don't know. I'm not feeling too good about the Rams right now.
The defense always can, step up in the time that they need them to.
Well, I mean, Aaron Donald can't do everything. Jalen Ramsey can't do everything.
It's true.
I don't know.
It's not a 2-man defense, but if it were my picks, I think it would be the Cardinals to win that game.
It's Case Keenum. No, is it Case Keenum?
It's not Case Keenum. I couldn't even tell you the guy's name. I really couldn't, but I know Blake Bortles was signed off the practice squad, and he will be the backup to possibly jump in if
John Wolford.
I think that's the guy.
John Wolford is going to beat Kyler Murray with no Cooper Kupp, who's a security blanket for everybody.
That's true. He really is.
There's no way.
It's officially he's not playing in the game.
He's on.
They're waiting to the Marquise Brown window of like 15 minutes before the game.
We'll see what the NFL does because the NFL has been kind of weird this year because some games they'll postpone, but like when Denver didn't have enough quarterbacks to play, oh no, y'all got to play that game.
Yeah.
When the Detroit Lions last weekend didn't have any coach to coach,
yeah,
you guys have to play that game. But Pittsburgh and Baltimore got postponed to Wednesday and stuff like that. So we'll see what the NFL does, but he's on the COVID list right now.
Yeah.
And
So give me your two predictions out of that. Who are the two teams that are advancing?
It's
You say the football team for the
football team
East.
for NFC East,
and now the next two in for the wild card spot.
It would be the Cardinals. Well, if the Bears lose and the Cardinals still,
the Rams have the upper leg still.
The Rams still have an upper leg.
So it'd be the
That's
Rams.
probably why they don't care, because they probably figure
if the Bears win, they go through.
They probably figure that the
And
Bears
the
are not going to
Cardinals
beat the
lose.
Packers because the Packers have something to play for.
Yeah.
So I'll say Washington football team will get the 4 seed because that's what it is when you win your division, and then it's going to be the I think the Cardinals beat the Rams, but they'll both be 9-7, and then if the Bears lose to the Packers, they'll be 8-8, and they'll be the odd one out.
So you say Rams and Cardinals are pulling
The
through.
Rams and Cardinals are going to pull through.
All right. So AFC now, we've got a hodgepodge
We got a lot going on.
there,
A
man.
lot of 10-5 teams.
Yeah, a lot of guys want in than they should be in too, man.
So right now, what's locked is the Chiefs locked number 1 overall, no matter what, throughout the whole playoffs.
Bills 2.
By the way, just to bring this part up, you know how like a lot of teams don't have fans and everything like that. The Chiefs have fans at their game, so their home field advantage actually is like a real home field advantage, which is pretty cool. The Bills look really good yesterday against Cam, so the Bills the Bills right now are second place. Steelers are third place right now. So those are the 3 that are locked. Only 3 teams out of the 7 are locked in the AFC. So we got the Titans at 10-5. We have the Dolphins at 10-5. We have the Ravens at 10-5. We have the Browns at 10-5, and we have the Colts at 10-5. All of them theoretically have to win.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. So what do you got?
Well, Colts are on the bubble. They're the only one that are really
The
on
Colts
the
on the
bubble.
outside looking in.
The Titans, I think, and the Colts play each other. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna give you the schedule right now. Okay.
So regardless, the Titans are getting in my opinion, because if they win the game, they win the division.
Titans play the Texans.
Oh, that's what they play. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Titans won that game.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because the Texans, although they have nothing to play for at this point.
They don't.
Because if they lose,
I'm
because their pick is going to Miami, so they have absolutely nothing to play for.
I'm a big Derrick Henry fan, and I like the Last King, man. He's doing it.
He's real.
He's
I'm a big Deshaun Watson fan. And did you hear that speech that JJ Watt gave yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, I did.
I don't think Houston wants to lose that game.
I don't think they do either, man. But I think the Titans are playing for something. They're playing for their winning their division.
And the Texans are playing for JJ Watt to not leave because JJ Watt, I think, is almost done with Houston. And I think they might come out and show some heart.
And JJ might just say, I'm going to the Packers, and I'll be okay with that. As long as he
God bless him for that.
Yeah, I just don't want him to go to, Tampa or something like that. I'm sorry, Tampa fans. I know you're going to hate me for that, but
I'd much rather keep him in the AFC personally, to keep him in your conference.
Kid. He's a hometown kid.
But Green Bay would probably be a good fit for him.
I think it would too.
All right, so we got the Titans playing the Texans.
Mm-hmm. Waxed.
We have who else is important?
Who plays the Browns? Is it the Steelers play the Browns?
Steelers and the Browns.
I'm sorry, but I really dislike OBJ, and I know he's not there anymore, but I don't like Baker Mayfield either. Mm-hmm. I just think he has more commercials than he has wins.
He's having a good season, though.
He is having a good season. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not a fan of him. I don't like him, and I think I don't know. He's got like a lot of tools, and yes, they were COVID, bitten against
all the
Jets,
receivers.
And I already was on forums and hearing Browns people reach out to me saying, if you beat us, it's because of COVID. No, man. You lost to basically Coastal Carolina. That's what the Jets are to me, that team.
God, don't trash your team like that.
They're bad.
The Jets are not that bad. They just
they are pretty
like
bad.
The Raiders game. They just had a lot of bad luck. The Broncos game. They just had a lot of bad luck this season.
They're very bad. They are very bad. I'm not trying to be a super fan because I'm not on how they are. There's a lot of things that need to get fixed, but in the Browns case, he's got a lot of weapons to throw to.
But check it out. Ben Roethlisberger's not starting for the Steelers.
That's true.
It's going to be Mason Rudolph. They're not playing for anything. Absolutely not. So I think the Browns are going to win that game. I think the Steelers have – remember the last time Mason Rudolph played Myles Garrett? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Myles Garrett.
Maybe they might want to win that game.
Both of those guys definitely got a chip on their shoulders to play for.
That's
and I kind of take – I like Myles Garrett, so I kind of side with Myles Garrett on all this.
So you're gonna take the Browns to beat the Steelers?
Unfortunately, I think the Browns do it. I think the Browns will pull through. Browns are definitely going to win that game, though. It's a no-brainer to me. With
Because they have to.
They have to. And if I'm the Steelers at this point, I'm testing the run game now. I'm seeing who's going to be my guy because I don't think they've been able to figure that out all year.
How they have 12 wins makes absolutely no sense to me.
That defense, the steel curtain is bad.
They refuse to run the football. And in my opinion, you cannot be a good football team without running the football. And somehow, they've pulled it off. They've tricked everybody because I don't get it. Because I think the last game they played, what's his name? James Conner only had 5 carries or something like that. And they still found a way to beat Indianapolis, who needed to win that game as well.
See, this is what doesn't resonate with me is like nothing's really changed with that team at all. If you look at it, the O-line is predominantly the same.
Uh-huh.
The running backs, they might have got a new guy. We all know it's a wide receiver factor over there in Pittsburgh. Insert new guy, cut this guy, trade him, bring in new guy.
We'll figure it out.
and they get it done. Yeah. I'm not worried about the receivers. But the run game,
they used to have a Le'Veon Bell. They used to have a bus.
But even James Conner, he was a stud last year. They got rid of Le'Veon Bell. They're like, oh, he's not gonna put up the same numbers. He put up some pretty good numbers this 1 year without Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
he beat cancer and he was putting up a lot of good numbers, which was dope.
But they've gone away from him this season.
Yeah, I don't get that. Snell, he shows up every now and then.
I'm not crazy about him.
I'm not either. And then the other guy, I don't know his name, but he plays sometimes. McDonald, I think is it.
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
he jumps in every now and then, and he'll put up some numbers, and then they're like, we're gonna give it to the hot hand. No, man, you got this guy Connor. Like, you got to put the confidence in those guys.
Exactly.
Unless Benny Snell was getting me 70, 80 yards a game, maybe a touchdown or two, then I'm like, hey, man. It's a change of the guard at the running back position, but there's been nothing extravagant to see. And even with that, like Big Ben goes to these like panic modes and just get a couple yards, man. You don't got to go on.
But this is how
3rd and 2.
This is Big Ben's. This is his who he is. He's been like that since Miami of Ohio. So
yeah,
I don't think it's ever going to change with Big Ben. But somehow, they'll be in the playoffs. But you got the Browns winning that game.
I got the Browns winning that. I got the Browns winning that game.
So right now you got the Browns, and then you picked the.
I think Browns fans. I think the Browns fans. Well, the Titans will win the division. And then I think the Browns fans get their Christmas wish, and they get to the playoffs finally. In what's it been like 20-something seasons, something crazy.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since they've been in.
Colts and Jags. Colts are gonna win.
Colts may get in, but the Ravens, who do the Ravens play?
The Ravens play
the other team in that division.
I was going to say the Dolphins play the Bills too.
Yeah. See,
the Ravens play the Bengals.
I'm sorry, Dolphins fans, man. I know you want it to be your year, but
this might not be
it. Just give it one more year, man. Like, be on the same.
You got to give Ryan Flores credit.
I give him credit. I like him a lot as a head coach. I like that, that BLM statement that they made with the whole team, and I'm all for that, man. I got no issues with that one bit. And he's appealing to me. He's young.
Yeah, he's fiery.
He's cool. He's fiery. Yeah. He likes defense. He likes offense. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be here, he accommodates you. Look at Minkah Fitzpatrick. Didn't want to be there. He's sending him where he wanted to go, and he's balling out.
But what do the Bills have to play for, though? They really have. They no matter what, they can't get the first seed.
They can't. But AFC East is just prideful, man. And I think just even at that, I think that team is so much better when they put the other guys in than what the Dolphins are going to put in. Because Parker isn't going to be playing. He's not going to be playing. He's out. Gaskin, he has one good game, but you think the Bills defense, whoever's in there, because Oliver's going to play a little bit. Edmonds is going to play a little bit. But even the guys behind them, they still do their job. I think that team is still significantly better than the Dolphins, and nobody wants to, have a lost tax in that. I think the Bills will beat them.
Because my
Not
only concern,
easily,
but my only concern is
27-24.
They don't care. They don't have anything to play for whatsoever.
Yeah,
they locked up the division. They're 12-3. The Steelers are 12-3.
But you don't also want to go in cold turkey either, man. You don't want to go cold and stuff like that.
I'll give you that.
You've seen teams do that, and that hasn't worked out well for them. So I think a lot of these teams, if they're smart, in my opinion, they'll play their players, but they're not gonna.
I always say
Go
play
all
them for
in.
the first half.
I say the first
Kind of
half,
like a
and then-
preseason, like the week 3 of the preseason, like the dress rehearsal kind of game.
The only team that I'm looking to look at one thing for would be the Steelers. You're testing that running game out. This is where it should be. Okay, we're going to the playoffs. We need to see who's going to be our guy.
Okay.
Because we know all the other guys are going to catch the ball.
So this is what you got. You got the Dolphins being the only team losing because you got the Colts winning, the Jags. You got the Browns beating the Steelers. You got the Ravens winning, obviously, against
Ravens
the
and Browns go in. That's going to be the ones
Titans beating the Texans.
Because the Colts are already on the bubble. And I think, like, due to tiebreakers and all of that, they don't have the upper hand. That's why they're on the bubble. So Colts win their game. Unfortunately, they don't make the playoffs. I want them to.
Well, if the Colts win their game and the Dolphins lose, the Dolphins don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
the Dolphins aren't making it.
So if the Dolphins don't make it, then the Colts are going to make the playoffs.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, there's 7 spots and 8 teams available for those spots. So no matter what, if the Dolphins lose and the Colts win, the Colts are in.
Oh, so then I have the Titans winning the division.
Yes, you do.
And then the Colts getting in with the Browns
and the Ravens.
So 3 teams can go in.
Yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's 5. There's 4 spots for 5 teams.
Oh,
Titans, Ravens, Browns, and Colts.
Colts, Browns, Ravens.
And then the Dolphins
keep it in the lineage of all of that.
And the Dolphins not making it.
Yeah, Dolphins out.
Sorry, Dolphins fans.
Yeah, man. I know I got Dolphins fans out there listening. You know, sorry Danny, sorry Kevin. I know y'all are big fans and you don't want to hear that, but name dropping now. But yeah, man, it is what it is. You're just missing one piece. Get your receiver.
What's that piece? Oh,
they need a receiver. They need offense.
I looked at.
Imagine if they could get,
I looked at what they're thinking about drafting. Actually, you were talking about you wanted Najee Harris. I'd actually prefer Travis Etienne.
Not me.
For what?
Not me.
Have you seen Etienne?
I do, but I'm just sold on Bama backs. Like minus Trent Richardson, they all do well.
They all do well, yeah.
Clemson, all I can think about is Gallman. That's it.
God, who else?
That's really
is that really it?
That, in my opinion, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like
but they've only been this good for the last 7, 8 years.
I think that guy Etienne will be like an Austin Eckler type of guy. Like the way he is.
It's not bad.
So
what would you think Najee Harris would be like?
He's a bruiser, man. He's a big.
He's not like Derrick Henry, but
nobody's like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's in a league of his own, but he's your prototypical running back that I'm looking for. Big, he can catch the ball. But he's more of a ground and pound type of guy. I guess I would compare him, and this is way, way off the reservation saying, but body style and stature and all of that would be like an Adrian Peterson type of guy.
Oh, no.
I'm not saying like his game. I'm not saying his game. I'm not saying his game. I'm saying his stature, like the way he plays. Like he's a ground and pound back. Like that type of running back.
There was an article that was published in July of this year, before this season even happened, before all the touchdowns and everything. And it said Najee Harris is the most well-rounded back in the class. So you might be onto something.
I'm okay with that.
You might be onto something.
I'm onto something, but I don't know if the Jets are onto that. The Jets have 2 first-round picks. Mm-hmm. They did well. I think getting rid of Jamal Adams was really stupid, but at least you inherited a first-round pick of it from the Seahawks.
Yeah,
that's good. They say they have nothing to play for, but maybe they want to screw over the Jets and push them down the line a little bit, whatever. But at the same time, use that pick wisely. Don't go out and get another defensive end that you're just going to keep for a year or 2 and then ship out. Get what you need. If it's O-line, I'm okay with that, but you better get another offensive weapon. Mm-hmm. And if you don't get an offensive weapon, by all means, please get a secondary weapon because it is a throw fest against the Jets. And it's not going to win you games, man. There's so many pieces that they need, but what they need to really get young at is on the offense, in my opinion, because you've got rapport with your quarterback. And if you can keep that rapport, throughout the tenure while he's there, I think that'll help him. And even with the running back, I don't. There's just Frank Gore ain't the answer, man.
Reggie Bush, and I love Reggie Bush. He compared Najee Harris to a more athletic Derrick Henry, actually.
He was the number 1 running back coming
That's some high praise.
He was the number 1 running back coming into the college football, and he came from a good high school in California, mm-hmm. and he sat behind Damian Harris and Josh Jacobs.
That's true.
And in the national championship, He shined. He got
He
like
did.
2 touchdowns in that game.
He did.
He's a beast.
Good
So
call.
I'm not shitting on his capabilities, but I'm not also jumping the gun on shit yet. You look good in college. So did Trent Richardson, but he also went to the Browns.
He went to the Browns. That's a horrible place to start your career.
It is. It really is. Yeah. But he had a great year one.
Yeah.
And then
fell off the cliff. And then tried it in Indianapolis. Then tried in the USFL. And then tried in Canada. And it was like, you know what? I think most recently I heard he was trying indoor football. I think he tried to get into XFL as well.
There was a lot of things that went on. There was a lot of articles on like misguidance and money management
that's
stuff.
True, yeah. And that's a huge distraction. So
yeah, that is a big distraction. But
okay.
I'm not jumping the gun yet. I'd rather see the guy come in, and I'd rather see, his work ethic, and I'd rather see him just succeed or little by little get introduced to the game as opposed to just throwing him in there right away. Najee Harris gets 37 touches for 60 yards, and then next week his knees are shot. Like I don't want that. Like you gotta balance it out.
Definitely. I mean, even Derrick Henry when he got to the league, it actually took him a little bit of time.
Everybody thought he was a bust, and I was like, "Hey, man."
They got Deion Lewis from New England. I was like, "What are they doing?"
It helps out because he's better catch. Even though Derrick Henry catches the ball and he's open field. He ain't stopping. He runs like a robot.
Everybody's getting ran over. Everyone's entitled to compensation if you got one of those stiff arms from King Derrick Henry.
Rest in peace, Josh Norman. Man, where's he at now?
He had to retire after that.
He pulled he pulled and just retire right there and then. So
all right, so we got the playoff picture set.
Dolphins are out in my opinion.
So
everybody else is in.
And then the NFC, you got Washington in, or you got
Washington's in for sure.
And then what about? And then between Rams, the Bears, and Arizona, you got the Bears out.
Bears are looking out. I want them in, man, but Packers.
Okay, there we go. All right, we got the playoff set. What's next, sir?
Let's talk basketball. We got a lot of basketball to talk very quickly.
Absolutely.
We have 4 undefeated teams in basketball that we wouldn't expect to be undefeated. Maybe 1, but even at that, it's still kind of sketch. The Cleveland Cavaliers, how? The Atlanta Hawks, you can see that a little
bit. Trae
Young.
They put a very good team together this summer.
The Orlando
and I kept
Magic,
telling people,
the Orlando Magic.
Correct.
And the Indiana Pacers, the only one that I could see being undefeated, in my opinion, because they play good fundamental basketball.
I am not surprised by Atlanta at all.
Atlanta would be the second.
They brought in Rondo.
But Rondo hasn't played except for
Rondo. But he played. He looked good in that game that he played.
He did. He's going to be a great addition.
They have Cam Reddish. They have Collins. They have.
I love Cam Reddish, but he's got to show up.
Yeah, he's got to show up. They got
Hunter Huter,
Bogdanovic.
That's a good get. That's an under the radar.
Capella is a good pickup as well.
Swiss. Black. I don't understand how, but it works.
Sorry. Oh, by the way, I think I called him Haitian last week. He's not Haitian.
He's Swiss.
He's Swiss.
Came to mind.
That was my mistake. He's Swiss. But they brought in a lot of really good talent and
young talent, which needs to gel.
And they all fit around Trae Young because this is a Trae Young show.
The one thing they needed was veteran leadership, and I think you got that. You got a 2-time NBA champion
in Rondo. Like he's an assistant coach that plays basically, which is exactly what they needed.
He's like a Pete Rose, like managing the team and coaching at the same, or playing at the same time.
Speaking of Pete Rose, never mind. We're not going to get Pete Rose.
Let Pete Rose be.
Let Pete Rose be.
But do you think any of those teams that I just mentioned, of those 4, do you think they can continue holding that dominant trait throughout the regular season, or do you think it's just early game? Some teams are working out the kinks and the jitters, and out of those 4 teams, which one do you see really being a dominant team?
So first of
all,
all,
they're all East. That's crazy.
I will never take the first week of an NBA season serious ever in my life.
Neither do I,
unless you get beat by 50 points. But anyway,
ooh, yes, I can't wait.
Anyway,
Paul George's burner account. I hope you're listening to me right now.
Before we get to Pandemic P. Out of those teams in the East, I think Atlanta is going to be the best team out of that 4.
You think?
I think the Pacers are going to be the second best team out of that 4. Orlando was in the playoffs last year, and then I don't think they got any worse.
They won 1 game against the Bucks, and it was the first game.
Exactly, and I don't think they got any worse.
Stephen A. something to talk about.
Exactly, and then Cleveland. Cleveland, they have a lot of this similar talent. A lot of young guns that like to score. Garland, Sexton.
Sexland.
They call it. Who came up with Larry Nance Jr.?
Larry Nance Jr.
We're gonna call them Sexland. So they got the Sexton brothers. They have Isaac Okoro, who I like. Kevin Love is hurt again.
Always.
They still have what's his name from Drummond? They still got
Drummond. They got Drummond. Drummond's underrated.
They have like a Detroit team basically, and the Detroit team's an 8 seed.
It just has to gel well. It's like you got to tell Sexton honestly that he's not a point guard; he's a shooting guard.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys parading as shooting point guards and shooting guard.
He can handle the ball, but he just doesn't distribute well. That's what makes me a point guard. Like in my opinion, you got to be able to find the guys that are open. That's the point of a point guard.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
he's a floor general. He sees everything, and he can dish it out if he's contested or can't get.
Like we had Allen Iverson, who's 6 feet tall, if that.
He was a shooting.
And he was a shooting guard because that's why they still had Eric Snow on the court with him. Because you need somebody to be that distributor, the guy that gets everything going. LeBron James is a small forward / power forward / point guard, but you still want a Kyrie on the court with him. You still want a Rondo on the court with him because it kind of just helps. Facilitate the offense from another aspect, another ball handler on the court.
Speaking of point guards, John Morant, 3 to 5 weeks.
Yep, another guy on my fantasy team that got hurt.
Do you think the Grizzlies can find a quick fix for that, or they're just going to have to suffer 3 to 5 weeks without that?
The Grizzlies are a pretty well put together team.
I think they're putting the right pieces together, but those right pieces keep getting hurt all the time.
Even Jaren Jackson, same thing. He's out. So they're a well put together team. They just play.
But Brandon Clark's a good sub in for that.
Exactly, but they just play in the wrong conference. If they were in the East, I think they would have.
Valanciunas is underrated, man.
He is, but there's a reason why Toronto was happy to get rid of him.
It had to hurt to see that too.
Exactly, and then they won a championship. So it's like, for me, they're gonna struggle. They're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna 3 to 5 weeks. We're talking that's 15 games. Well, if you play 4 games a week, that's between 12. That's between 12 and 20 games that he's going to miss, and 12 to 20 games in the West is it's not going to work. So
they're going to set back probably.
Yeah, it's going to set, and that's fine.
But who steps up in his absence? Dillon Brooks.
I like Dillon Brooks. So you know who I can't stand, but this could be a good opportunity for him. Grayson Allen. Because I saw him
so much.
I saw him at the end of the Brooklyn game.
He looks like a good.
His body is
defender off the ball.
He has an NBA body. I don't think his mind is right. But this could be a good opportunity for him to be like, because he's been playing 27, 28 minutes a night.
Yeah.
He just hasn't been scoring the ball.
But he's not a scorer. Which
is weird because in college he was a scorer. So I feel like this would be valuable minutes for him.
I feel like with the NBA, like to the NFL comparison. In the NBA, they kind of do that with you like the NFL. Like if you're a quarterback and they don't think you're a quarterback, you're a wide receiver.
Yeah,
if you scored a bunch and they see you're better at defense and scoring, you're going to be our defensive stopper. And he's a pretty good defensive player.
But I don't know. He needs to. Again, I don't hate anybody, so I don't hate him.
I hate Tom Brady just to put that.
No. I like Tom. He went to Michigan. But great. Like I've never been crazy about Duke players. But he's a Duke guy.
Jason Tatum, man.
Jason Tatum.
That's the only guy I like.
That boy's nice. But I like Grant Hill. I like some of their guys.
They're not all hateable.
But Grayson Allen, I could not stand him in college. I'm a Tar Heel basketball fan, so I could not stand Grayson Allen. But he has an NBA body, so this would be a good opportunity for him to shine. Kyle Anderson is going to be playing well because he's going
to get his touches.
Justice Winslow, is he healthy?
Hurt? No, he's hurt.
So they have a lot of injuries.
Yeah, they're just injuries.
They have a lot of injuries. So there's guys that Tyus Jones. There's guys that are going to have
some time to go.
There's going to be opportunities for players to shine through this, but they're not going to be winning games. So this is a good opportunity for everybody. The coaching staff to understand that. Like we're trying to develop our talent now. So
you know who else needs to step up? Pandemic P.
Pandemic freaking P.
Pandemic P, man. He just got waxed by 50.
So kind of give last week we were talking about the guy on Twitter that you're going back and forth.
Yeah, by the way, whoever Paul George's burner account is, I hope you're listening to this because
where are we at in that conversation right now?
With me and him or
just with you and him.
I'm not even gonna give him his credit, man. He's a nobody. But anyways, like with Paul George, man. we know he's going to get his points in the regular season. That's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
But our argument last time is playoffs, it doesn't resonate. But now you're playing against a Mavs team, which they're missing a big piece in Kristaps Porzingis, but you're down by, what was it at the half?
They were down 77 to 12. Oh, I remember everything. 77 to 27 at halftime. 27 points by an NBA basketball team. You still have Lou Williams. You still have Patrick Beverly. You still have Zubac. You still have Paul George. You still have Serge Ibaka. Still have all these people.
How many points did Paul George have in that game?
15.
Exactly. That's not going to win.
He shot what, 4 or 15 from the field.
That's just like, and I'm getting off topic real quick, but Anthony Davis scoring 11 points against the Blazers. That's not going to win.
That's not going to get.
You're going to have your bad games, but Paul George, if I got to see you come out on TV one more time and say, "Oh, they signed me to this max extension. I feel like I owe them to this. I'm going to win a championship for them." Like, dude, just shut up and play ball.
What has Paul like?
Put up a fight. Lose by 8.
Yeah,
and I'll be okay.
Yeah, if you lose by 20, you lose by 20. But 50 points.
Don't give me an easy topic on my show, man.
50 points in the NBA, like, and again, I don't want to hate on anybody, but as a LeBronaholic, I always latch on to what's against him. So Skip Bayless, I get on him because he's a LeBron hater. The Clippers, I get on them now because
their baby brother,
the little brother in the basement can't get it done, and they talk so much. But God forbid LeBron James loses by 50 points, and we're gonna hear about it every single day, every hour. LeBron James is not this and not that. But if the Clippers lose by 50 points, I want to get on them because they deserve to hear this because all they do is talk. Remember when during the bubble when they were like making fun of Damian Lillard for missing those free throws, and like all they do is talk. They all.
But Damian Lillard shows up.
Exactly. Damian Lillard has shot teams out. Damian Lillard hit that shot in Paul George's face.
He sent him and Russ home real quick.
Sent them on his way.
And then Pat Bev and them want to do it. He sent Pat home with James Harden.
Send them on their way. So it's like, to me, all that talking that the Clippers do, they're not a good basketball. They're a good basketball team, like player-wise, but they're not a good team, like as far as like, from the top to the bottom. They
lost some key free agents that
I don't care what they lost.
It's a mental thing.
They're second or third on Vegas's list to make it to the NBA Finals.
They do the talking. They talk the talk, but they just can't walk the walk. That's it.
And I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here.
I'm not gonna. I think they're easily going to be a top 3 team in the West, but you got to.
They still will.
I guarantee you that skit that Homeboy made and was like the Doc Rivers
skit. Yeah.
He was like, "Let me talk to Ty Lue. Put me on speakerphone." Paul George, you trash. Like you trash, man. Like you're not trash, but like you're not the guy. You're the number 2 there. You were the number 2. You were the Pippen. And when homeboy Kawhi is out, you need to pick it up. You need to step up and you need to do what you do.
When Michael Jordan retired that first time,
11 points ain't cut or 15 points.
Scottie Pippen carried the Bulls to the NBA playoffs. And they went Game 7 against New York without Michael Jordan there, okay? That's Scottie Pippen by himself. Paul George cannot be losing by 50 points. I don't care what the circumstances is. It's not like they played the Mavericks. The Mavericks lost by 30 to the Lakers like just 2 nights before that. So
yeah, it's like the circle of life of basketball.
It just doesn't make sense. But
anybody who's a Paul George fan, I'm sorry if I'm crushing your spirits.
It's
Paul
not
George's
personal.
burner account. It ain't personal, man.
It's not
but
personal.
I'm gonna keep this thing going with you online all the time. But come on, man.
He points fingers when Doc Rivers should have made adjustments, and what happened with this person and that person. Take accountability. Be a leader.
Exactly.
All that money that they're paying you to lose by 50 points, like, nah. I'm not here for that.
They're gonna win you a championship.
I'm not here for that. Them. Yeah, you owe them a champ. You owe the Clippers.
And their owner is like a fun guy, man.
He is.
Not to play on the Kawhi thing, but he loves that stuff.
Yeah, I'm
man.
a fun guy.
He loves that, and he's got to see that. Come on, man. I'm over.
We're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna leave it alone. I got it out my system. I had a lot of coffee to drink. I had some nitro coffee with some espresso shots. So
Also another shot. Had a little whiskey shot to
a little Jameson.
loosen everything up.
You got to loosen it up a little bit. So, but when we talk about the Clippers, we're going to get me activated. So
yeah. So we're winding down to the end of the show.
I'm calm.
We're going to do a little segment since I say I know every basketball player where they went to school. KK is going to rattle some guys up. And I know I don't have a video in front of me, so
he's not cheating.
I'm not cheating.
He's not cheating. I promise.
He's going to rattle them off. And when we get video going, you'll get to see my face. I'll throw my phone behind me. And we can go from there.
So, just so you guys know, I'm a basketball historian. I'm not really as good with colleges, but I know names, I know where they played at, and mostly the 90s and the 2000s. That was my favorite era. So
I'm pretty good with players too, but they have to be somewhat relevant.
They're going to be relevant.
From our small conversation, he didn't tell me the names. He gave me some stats. They seem pretty relevant, so we'll go from there.
All right. The first person. Where did this gentleman go to college? Cedric Ceballos.
Oh, Cedric Ceballos. Oh my God. I want to say he went to a community college, I think.
Started off at one.
Did he go to New Mexico State?
No.
Oh man, that's the end of the podcast.
0 for 1 already.
Man, that guy was totally irrelevant though, but he did average.
His career averages point per game was 14.3 points a game.
Did he?
5 rebounds.
If he didn't go to New Mexico, then he went to UNLV or something.
Nope. God, 0 for 2.
Where?
He went to Cal State Fullerton.
Come on. The only person to ever come out of Cal. Okay, I've lost. We're done with this.
No, we're gonna keep this one going. We're gonna keep this one going.
Ron Angelo wouldn't have got that one.
He would have got that. 1,000% he would have got that.
I bet you wouldn't, Ron. Text me right now, Ron.
All right, next one. I like this guy, Isaiah Ryder.
JR went to UNLV, running Rebel.
JR Ryder. All right, next guy.
Cedric Ceballos.
Hey, that's one of my favorite names.
He's a dunker.
All right, my guy right here. He punched Rick Fox in the face in the preseason game. Doug Christie.
Doug Christie?
Yes.
Oh, man. Did he go to Nova?
Nope.
If he didn't go to Nova, then he went to... Oh, my God. I know this.
God, I thought you were the guy.
Is it Old Dominion?
Nope, I'm stumping the Schwab. No, he went to Pepperdine.
I knew it was
one
of those weird schools.
God, A-Rod. You making me look bad. I was hyping you up.
I'm better than this.
I was hyping you up. All right.
I promise you I'm better than this.
Another guy who I really used to like to watch play. Kerry Kittles.
Nova.
There you go, because you mentioned Nova. So all right.
Because Nova at that time, Nova wasn't a championship team. They were breeding good basketball.
But they had good talent coming through. Yeah,
they were kind of like UConn. They were pumping good basketball players out. So I was paying attention to that.
There you go. Okay. And I used to play with him on video games.
I love Kerry Kittles.
I like Kerry Kittles.
I'm trying to get a Kerry Kittles jersey if I can get it.
We got to find you one of those.
I'm getting one for sure.
You got a basketball card?
I want the whole 96 draft class. Every one of them. I got Kobe. I got Ray Allen with the Bucks. I got the old original Iverson. I got Abdul Rahim, who was probably my favorite
Sharif,
player. Yeah. I'm trying to get them all, man.
All right, one more.
Throw it at me. I'm what? 2 for 5 so far.
You got 2 for 4. 2 for 4. 2, yeah. 2 and 2 right now.
All right. 5.
So this is game 5.
Sorry, kids, if you're listening.
So this guy, he averaged 13 points a game in his career, but he was a good player. Kendall Gill. Ooh, come on, Kendall Gill.
He went to a good school too.
He did. I'm not giving you any clues or anything.
No, I know you're not.
Kendall Gill.
Dude, I really don't even know where Kendall Gill is.
God.
What's in Arizona?
No.
Kentucky?
No.
Was a big school, I know that.
It's a Big Ten school.
Illinois?
Yes. Illinois.
Jesus, I guessed that my last.
No, I can't give you that one. I can't give you that one.
It was a big school.
He went to the University of Illinois.
Fuck. I knew that too.
You got J.R. Ryder and you got Kerry Kittles. I'm not giving you credit for Kendall Gill.
Give me one more bonus one to redeem me. Off the rip, right?
Samaki Walker.
Oh, I bet you I know it. I bet you can tell me the whole 96 draft class when he went to Louisville.
He did?
Oh, God.
Okay, let me make sure. Yeah, he went to Louisville.
You can't step me on the 96 draft class and maybe the 97 draft class.
All right.
I could probably know.
We'll give you that extra credit. But let's wrap it up.
I promise next time, guys, I'll come prepared.
I'm coming with it harder and harder and harder. All right? Don't be nervous.
I'm not nervous, man.
He's real red.
I'm sweating bullets
He's real
right now.
red right now.
I
'cause
was
he's
really
embarrassed.
nervous. It's the whiskey too.
He's
but-
embarrassed. No, he's embarrassed. But we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for listening.
Pleasure listening, guys. Like I said, shoot us what you want us to talk about the next one. You can find us on our Facebook page. You can find the YouTube channel wherever you subscribe to podcasts. We're definitely on there.
We're on Apple Music, Spotify,
We're on there.
Google Podcasts.
Look us on IG at the Fairweather Podcast. Paul George's burner account. I hope you're listening to us.
MySpace.
Yep. And then lastly, I'm sorry, that was the IG page, which is the name of the podcast, and then Twitter is Fairweather Pod.
We're
Peace,
out.
guys.
We're out.
You know, man.